Every day, millions of men walk away from something real because they couldn't see it. They missed the signs. They believed love had to be loud, obvious, and easy to recognize. But real love, real emotional connection, it's often silent, hidden, protected behind walls built by fear, heartbreak, and pride. Today, you're going to uncover what most men will never see. The true signs her heart already belongs to you. This isn't about guessing. This is about understanding human nature at a level that changes your life forever. If you're serious about mastering your relationships, about avoiding heartbreak, about finally seeing what's real and what's fake, you cannot afford to miss a single second of this. Support this channel if you find value. By doing so, you help bring this life-changing knowledge to other men who desperately need it, but may never hear it otherwise. Together, we're building a generation of men who don't guess, they know. Now let's get into it. If someone loved you but was too afraid to show it, would you even recognize it? What if the greatest love of your life is standing right in front of you, hiding in plain sight? Most men don't, and they lose everything because of it. Today you're going to learn how to see what most never do. Signs that don't scream, they whisper. But once you recognize them, you'll never be confused again. 1. Subconscious loyalty. When someone truly cares about you, their loyalty doesn't announce itself with fireworks or loud promises. It moves quietly beneath the surface, revealed not by words, but by small, consistent actions. Loyalty, when it's real, is often subconscious. They don't sit down and plan to be there for you. They just are. Especially when life isn't easy, when you're going through tough moments, facing problems you didn't expect, feeling lost or unsupported. That's when subconscious loyalty shows itself most clearly. Pay attention to who steps up. Look at who finds a way to show up, even when they have every excuse not to. It won't be the person who always talks about being there. It will be the one who quietly rearranges their life just a little to make sure you're not alone when you need someone. Maybe they cancel something they were looking forward to without mentioning it. Maybe they offer you their time without you asking, acting like it's no big deal, because for them, being there for you feels natural, not forced. They don't expect to thank you, and they don't broadcast their sacrifices. They minimize their own efforts because their loyalty isn't for show. It's built into how they feel about you. And the most powerful thing about subconscious loyalty is that it shows up consistently, not just once. Over time, it creates a pattern that becomes impossible to ignore. They are simply there. Through the stress, through the silence, through the messy parts of life, they quietly, steadily choose you. True loyalty hides itself not because it's weak, but because it's deeply real. It's not driven by the need for recognition or praise. It's driven by emotional connection, the kind where your struggles become their concern, where your happiness becomes something they quietly protect. When you see someone consistently finding ways to support you, when they downplay their actions, when they seem to show up by accident again and again, don't overlook it. What you're seeing is not random kindness. It's a heart already tied to yours, working in the background, hoping you'll feel it, even if they're too afraid to say it out loud. Subconscious loyalty is one of the rarest forms of real emotional attachment. And if you recognize it early, it will change how you see every relationship in your life. 2. Emotional inconsistency. Many men misunderstand emotional inconsistency. They see it, and their mind immediately jumps to the worst possible conclusion: that she isn't interested, that she's playing games, that she's leading them on. They walk away frustrated, bitter, and confused. But the truth is, emotional inconsistency is not a sign of manipulation. It's a sign of a battlefield raging inside her heart. It's the silent war between her desire to open herself up to you and her deep fear of what that vulnerability could cost her. When you pay attention, you'll see it. One moment, she's warm, laughing, fully present, her eyes lighting up at your presence, her body language open, welcoming. In that moment, her heart wins. She lets herself lean into you. She lets her guard slip just enough to feel the connection that pulls her toward you like gravity. But then, suddenly, the wall slams back up. She grows distant, cold, distracted. She acts like none of it mattered. This isn't random. It's not because she changed her mind or lost interest. It's fear. A fear so deep that it hijacks her behavior before she can stop it. The fear of being exposed, the fear of caring too much and not being cared for in return, the fear of trusting someone only to be disappointed again. Her mind floods with doubts and old memories, warning her to pull back, to protect herself, to not risk everything on something that feels so terrifyingly real. The push and pull you experience with her isn't proof she doesn't care. It's proof that she does, maybe more than she can even admit to herself. If you don't understand this, you'll misread everything. You'll think she's playing you, when in reality, she's fighting herself harder than you could ever imagine. Every time she moves closer and then pulls away, she's revealing how badly she wants to connect, and how scared she is of the pain that could follow if she trusts the wrong person again. Real emotional inconsistency is a sign of a deep emotional struggle. A woman who feels nothing for you stays steady, distant, unaffected. A woman whose heart is battling her mind shows you flashes of real affection, and then yanks it back out of fear. If you're smart, you'll read the situation for what it is. Not a rejection, but a hidden cry for safety. She is asking, without words, "Can I trust you with my heart? Will you protect what I'm too scared to offer fully?" Emotional inconsistency, when you know how to see it, is not a warning to run away. It's an invitation to understand, to be patient, and to prove, not through promises, but through presence, that you're a man she doesn't have to fear. 3. Emotional reactivity. One of the clearest signs that someone cares more deeply than they're willing to admit is how emotionally reactive they become around you. When feelings run deep, emotions don't stay calm and calculated. They erupt, often against their own will. If someone feels neutral about you, they won't react strongly to anything you do. You could talk to someone else, drift away for a while, become distant, or even ignore them entirely, and they would barely blink. Their emotional waters would stay still because there's nothing inside pulling at them. But when someone's heart is truly involved, even the smallest shifts in your attention hit them like a punch they didn't see coming. Suddenly, you notice irritation flash across their face when you laugh a little too much with someone else. You feel tension when you mention another person's name too many times. You catch subtle signs of jealousy when you're not as available as you used to be. These aren't coincidences. They're proof of real emotional investment. The most important thing to understand is this: these reactions aren't deliberate. They're not manufactured. A person who is terrified to reveal how much they care will try to play it cool, act indifferent, pretend none of it matters. But emotions are faster than logic. They surface before self-control can shut them down. That's why emotional reactivity is so powerful to watch. It's not polished, not planned, not perfect. It's raw, real, and almost impossible to fake. A quick flash of anger, a sarcastic comment that stings a little too much, a cold tone after seeing you give attention elsewhere. These are emotional flare-ups that scream how much they are struggling to hide the depth of their feelings. Understand that emotional reactivity is not a sign of weakness or immaturity. It's a sign that their heart is involved at a level that scares them. They might even be angry at themselves for reacting at all, frustrated that they can't control the emotional storm inside. This inner conflict often creates even more distance, as they pull back harder after showing vulnerability, desperate to regain control. Most men miss this completely. They see the mood swings, the jealousy, the irritation, and they assume it's drama or disrespect. They walk away and leave behind a woman who cared too much to stay calm, but didn't know how to express it safely. 4. Attentive listening. In a world drowning in noise, true listening has become rare. Everywhere you look, people are half present, distracted by their phones, their thoughts, or their own need to speak. That's why when someone actually listens, really listens, it's one of the most powerful signs of real emotional attachment. When someone's heart is involved, their attention shifts in a way they can't fake. They aren't just hearing the words you say. They are tuned into you completely. Watch carefully. When you speak, does she put away distractions? Does she focus her body toward you? Does her gaze settle fully on you without wandering? Real love listens differently. It listens not just to information, but to emotion. It listens between the lines, catching the shifts in your voice, the subtle hesitations, the hidden meanings even you didn't realize you were revealing. A woman who truly cares will notice things others overlook. She'll pick up on the drop in your tone when you talk about something painful, She'll catch the flicker of frustration you try to hide when you mention a problem you're facing. She'll feel when you're carrying a weight you don't speak out loud. Her ears aren't just tuned to your words, they are tuned to you. And she won't need to announce it or make a show of it. You'll just feel it in the way she reacts, in the way she asks questions that show she's paying attention, in the way her responses make it clear she's right there with you, not thinking about herself or waiting for her turn to speak. This kind of attention is a rare form of emotional intimacy, and most men completely miss it because they're trained to only look for big, obvious signals. They chase grand gestures, loud declarations, dramatic confessions, and in doing so, they overlook the purest form of care there is, someone quietly, fully, giving you their mind when you speak. Attention is a love language. It's one of the strongest ways a woman says, "You matter to me," without ever having to say the words. If you see someone listening to you like this, consistently, quietly, deeply, understand what's really happening. Her mind has decided you are important. Her heart has invested energy into understanding you, not just tolerating you. And in a world where everyone else only listens halfway, this full-hearted attention is not random. It's rare. It's sacred. If you don't recognize it and respect it, you'll lose something most men will never even get the chance to experience. So, open your eyes, watch how she listens. And when you see it, when you truly feel that rare depth of attention, understand that it's not by accident. It's the silent voice of a heart already choosing you. 5. Remembering tiny details. Memory is not random. It's a mirror that reflects emotional priority. Our minds are flooded with thousands of pieces of information every single day, but we only hold on to the things that matter to us. We forget what's irrelevant. We forget what doesn't touch us emotionally. But when someone remembers the small things about you, the random facts, the casual comments, the little details you didn't even think were important, it's a signal you cannot afford to miss. It's a sign that you are living inside their mind even when they don't consciously realize it. Maybe it's remembering your favorite coffee order without asking twice. Maybe it's bringing up a funny story you mentioned once, months ago. Maybe it's knowing the name of your childhood pet, or remembering that you said you hated a certain type of music. These tiny details may seem meaningless on the surface, but they are loaded with emotional significance. When someone cares deeply, they lock onto these fragments of you because emotionally, you have become a priority in their mind. Their brain is not trying to memorize facts, it's holding on to pieces of you, and the more fragments they store, the clearer it becomes that your presence is taking up real space inside their world. It's effortless for them. They don't sit down and study facts about you like it's a test. These details stick naturally because caring makes remembering automatic. Men who miss this are men who constantly question whether someone is genuine. They wait for loud declarations of love, for big, showy moments. But real emotional connection often reveals itself in the smallest, quietest ways. If someone is consistently remembering the things about you that no one else even notices, it's not coincidence, it's not politeness, it's emotional investment working silently in the background. And the power of this is massive, because memory builds trust. Every time they recall something small you said, they are proving that your words aren't just passing through them. They're being held, valued, protected. If you pay attention to this, you'll stop wondering how someone feels about you. You'll already know. You'll see it in the way they recall moments you barely even registered as important. You'll feel it in the way they carry pieces of your life alongside their own. And in a world full of distractions and self-obsession, when someone makes the quiet effort to remember the small things about you, it's one of the purest signs that their heart is already tied to yours, whether they've admitted it or not. 6. Seeking proximity. Distance reveals emotional truth faster than closeness ever will. You can fake a smile when standing next to someone. You can fake politeness during a conversation. But when someone can't be near you and that distance makes them restless, uncomfortable, or visibly uneasy, that's something they can't control. It's not about words or forced gestures anymore. It's about instinct. When someone has built an emotional bond with you, even if they haven't admitted it to themselves, separation feels wrong. It feels like something important is missing, like they've been pulled away from a place they didn't even realize they were anchoring themselves to. And the way they respond to that separation speaks louder than anything they could ever say. Pay attention to the little ways they try to maintain closeness. Maybe they casually invite you to things that don't really need your presence. Not because it's logical, but because the thought of you not being there feels heavier than they can explain. Maybe they text or call you over things that don't really require communication, using small excuses just to keep the connection alive. Maybe they seem slightly anxious when you leave a room, or more energized when you're back. These moments are not random. They are the invisible magnetic pull of real emotional attachment making itself known. The beauty of seeking proximity is that it often looks like nothing on the surface. They won't always be obvious about it. They might frame their actions as casual, spontaneous, or even unintentional. But if you look closely, you'll see a pattern. You'll notice that when choices are available, they choose the ones that keep you close. You'll feel their energy shift when you drift too far. You'll notice an almost unconscious effort to maintain a thread of connection, not through grand declarations, but through small, repeated actions that stack up over time. And when someone becomes restless without your presence, it's a sign that your place in their life is deeper than they want to admit. It's no longer about conscious thought. It's about emotional wiring. Their system is trying to tell them something, that being near you feels safe, feels right, feels necessary. Even if they're too afraid to name it out loud, their actions tell you everything you need to know. Men who recognize this will stop being confused by mixed signals. They'll understand that the real measure of emotional connection is not always how someone acts when they're standing right next to you. It's how their heart reacts when you are gone. If your absence creates a quiet discomfort, if it pulls them back toward you again and again, you are not just a passing thought in their mind. You are a presence their soul is already attached to. 7. Protectiveness. Protectiveness is one of the purest, most instinctive signs of real love. And it's something that can't be faked. It's primal, built deep into human nature. When someone genuinely cares about you, their first reaction when they see you threatened, hurt, overwhelmed, or simply uncomfortable isn't to step back. It's to step closer. Even if they barely understand their own feelings, even if they are terrified of admitting how much you mean to them, their instinct to protect you will slip out before their mind has a chance to stop it. They'll worry about your safety. They'll check in when something feels off. They'll notice when you're tired, stressed, or carrying burdens too heavy to mention. And they'll do small things, sometimes even clumsily, sometimes teasingly, to make sure you're okay. It's not always heroic or obvious. Protectiveness often hides behind humor. They might make sarcastic jokes about you needing to be careful. They might pretend they're giving you a hard time, but underneath the words, their actions tell a different story. When you're cold, they'll offer you their jacket without making it a big moment. When you're upset, they'll find a way to distract you, to lift the weight off your shoulders without asking you to explain everything. When you're facing a tough situation, they'll stand a little closer, keep a watchful eye, or quietly make sure you're not facing it alone. Protectiveness doesn't scream, it acts. Real protectiveness comes from a place of deep emotional investment. It's a natural extension of seeing you as part of their own world, their own territory. When you hurt, they feel it. When you're threatened, something inside them demands to shield you, even if all they can do is offer small comforts. And the beautiful thing is, they often don't even realize how obvious they're being. It's reflexive. It's built into the emotional bond they have with you, a bond they may not be ready to speak about, but one they are absolutely living out with their actions. Most men miss this sign because they are trained to look for dramatic gestures, for loud professions of love, for big moments. But true emotional protectiveness isn't about drama. It's about instinct. It shows up in ordinary, quiet, everyday ways. It's offering you support without you having to ask. It's caring about your peace of mind when everyone else overlooks it. It's reacting emotionally when something threatens your happiness, even if they cover it with sarcasm or pretend it's no big deal. When you see someone subtly stepping up for you, whether it's shielding you from discomfort, protecting your reputation when you're not there to defend yourself, or quietly standing by you when life gets messy, you are seeing the real language of love. It's the language of actions, not words. The truth is simple. When someone's heart is involved, protecting you becomes automatic. They don't choose it, they feel it. And if you pay attention to these moments, you'll see the truth they might be too afraid to say out loud, that your pain has become their pain, and your well-being has become their silent priority. Matters. They miss the loyalty hidden in silence. They miss the body speaking what words hide. They walk away from the kind of love that only comes once because they didn't know how to see it. Don't be like most men. Be the one who sees, the one who understands, the one who doesn't miss the rarest thing this life can offer. Real, hidden, trembling love. Master this knowledge, and you'll never again wonder if someone cares. You'll know. If you stayed with me until now, comment empowered below. I want to know who the men are that finish what they start. Support this channel if you found any value today. By supporting, you're not just helping me, you're helping hundreds, thousands of men who desperately need these insights but might never hear them. You're part of a movement, a brotherhood of men who refuse to walk blind through the most important connections of their lives. Subscribe, like, comment, and keep building the life and relationships you deserve. This is just the beginning.